I was 24 years old when I made the decision. It took less than 5 minutes. No one saw me. No one questioned it.
And for 62 years, I've carried it alone. I'm 86 now, and I still remember what I did. When you're young, you don't think in decades. You think in weeks, in paychecks, in promotions, in proving something. Back in 1964, I had just started working at a manufacturing plant outside our town. It wasn't the kind of place you dreamed about as a child. It was loud, hot in the summer, freezing in the winter. The air always smelled like oil and hot metal. But to me, it was opportunity. I'd grown up watching my mother stretch every dollar. My father died when I was 17. After that, survival wasn't a theory, it was daily life. I promised myself I would never struggle like that again. I would climb, no matter what. There was another man at the plant, Daniel Harper. He was about 5 years older than me. Calm, steady, the kind of man who didn't raise his voice and didn't need to. People respected him without him asking for it. He had a wife. She was expecting their first child. I remember he kept a small black and white photo of her in his locker. Sometimes he'd take it out during lunch and just look at it. Not in a showy way, just quietly, like he was reminding himself why he worked so hard. When the supervisor position opened, everyone assumed it would be Daniel. He had the experience. He trained half the guys on the floor. Even I had learned things from him. And that's what made it worse. I liked him, but I wanted that promotion more than I liked him. Around that time, inventory started coming up short. Small but expensive machine components were missing. Management was tense. They were looking for someone to blame. One afternoon, I overheard 2 supervisors talking. If this keeps up, someone's gonna lose their job. That sentence stayed with me. Someone's gonna lose their job. And in my mind, that someone wasn't gonna be me. The decision didn't happen all at once. It built slowly, like a quiet justification. I stayed late one evening, told the foreman I needed extra hours. The factory floor looked different after dark. Empty machines, long shadows, every footstep echoing louder than usual. I had taken a small box of those missing parts earlier that week, hidden it, told myself I didn't know why, but I did. I walked down the locker corridor, fluorescent lights buzzing overhead. Daniel's locker was 3 rows down on the left. I stood there longer than I want to admit. My heart was pounding so loud, it felt like someone could hear it. I could still walk away. I could put the box back, pretend I never had the thought. Instead, I opened his locker, placed the box behind his lunch pail, closed the door, locked it, and walked away. It took less than 5 minutes. The next morning, management searched lockers. Someone had reported a suspicion. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I remember pointing them in the right direction. They found the box. Daniel looked stunned, not angry, just confused. "I don't understand," he kept saying. "There must be some mistake." No one defended him, not even me. By the end of the week, he was gone. I watched him carry a small cardboard box out of the factory. He didn't look at anyone. He didn't shout. He didn't beg. He just left. And I said nothing.
2 weeks later, I was called into the office. They offered me the supervisor position. I shook hands, I thanked them. I told myself this was how the world worked. You either win or you fall behind. I got married the next year, bought a small house, had children, built a life that looked stable, respectable. People trusted me. They called me dependable, honest. Every time I heard that word, something inside me tightened. A few years later, I heard what happened to Daniel. He struggled to find steady work. They had to move, sold their home. His daughter was born shortly after he lost the job. I don't know if my action destroyed his life, but I know it changed it, and I know it wasn't my place to change it. That's the part that doesn't fade, the arrogance, the belief that my ambition mattered more than his family. Time has a strange way of softening consequences for the person who caused them. I built a career, retired comfortably, watched my grandchildren grow up. From the outside, my life looked successful, but success is quieter when you know the foundation isn't clean. At night, sometimes, I still see that locker. I see my younger hands placing that box inside, so sure, so certain I deserved more. I want to reach back and stop him, tell him that 5 minutes will follow him for the rest of his life. But youth doesn't listen. You spend decades trying to justify it, telling yourself it was survival, it was necessary, he would have recovered. But at 86, the excuses feel thin. When you're old, you don't think about what you gained, you think about who you hurt. I never confessed, not to my wife, not to my children, not to anyone. Every year that passed made it harder. How do you tell your family that the man they admire once betrayed someone who trusted him? So I stayed silent, and silence became routine. I don't know where Daniel is now. If he's alive, he'd be about my age. Maybe he forgot that factory. Maybe he moved on completely. Or maybe he still wonders why it happened. If he ever sees this, though I doubt he will, I want him to know something. I remember. I remember the hallway, the metal door, the sound of the locker closing. I remember the look on his face, and I remember choosing myself over what was right. I was 24 years old when I made the decision. It took less than 5 minutes. No one saw me. No one questioned it. And for 62 years, I've carried it alone. I'm 86 now, and I still remember what I did.